Alright, so let's go through a little bit of that and discuss a little bit deeper into some of our thoughts about these movies. So, we both enjoyed No Time to Die, obviously.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. I thought it was a really great send-off for Daniel Craig.
It was. That's a good way to put it. It
You
wasn't
know,
like the best movie
without
I've seen,
doing spoilers, but as a whole, seeing Daniel Craig's Bond through all of his movies, I thought it was a great ending for Daniel Craig.
I remember there was a lot in it. They went from this place to this place to this place to this place
Yes.
to this place.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel super organic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could tell,
I can agree with
okay,
that.
what about, okay, we need to write in this place. We need to write in this
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
You could tell that a little bit. Oh, my biggest grievance was Rami Malek. Way underutilized.
Yeah.
I feel like for what we got, he was super good, but it was like, it felt like 30 seconds. In
Yeah.
comparison, I wanted him for like so much longer.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with that.
I
But
wanted
again,
him
that
more.
being said, I understand that that's a criticism, and I agree, and it's, you know, could be considered, you know, a
Yeah,
flaw, but
Yeah,
it was a great movie.
it was good.
Yeah,
It was
I
good.
liked it.
Okay, Matrix. We're gonna-
Matrix Resurrections. We're going to have to do an individual video for Matrix.
Yeah.
It's going to have
for
to
Matrix
be
Resurrections, but also for the whole franchise.
the series
series.
as a whole, every movie, the Animatrix.
Yeah.
And because that influenced my score a lot. Because as an individual movie, if I had not seen the others, I would have given it a very different score.
Yeah.
But because I, you know, heavily into all the lore and all the movies and everything, it completely affected how I see the movie personally.
I did like it, and especially for
Yes.
when people hate something, I usually like it more. So it got so many bad reviews, so I was like, no, I like this, I like this, I like this part. So that influences me. Or if it's the opposite, if people love something, I'm going like, eh. And then I am a little bit more critical.
Hmm. Yeah. Which
Did
is
you like it?
Totally fair. I did. I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah. Obviously,
I liked it.
I have
like
too. I
parts.
have too much to say for
Yeah,
this
we'll go
video.
into detail,
We'll go
but-
into it.
yeah.
But did I like the movie? I liked the movie.
Yeah. Okay,
Dune. I love Dune.
Quick. You loved it?
This is tough because I could talk about this for a long time, and there's a lot of reasons why I gave it the score that I did and why I love it. But also, I'm a huge fan of the book, and I felt like it was almost a companion piece. Because a lot of times where the scene was silent and you're seeing the character, I know what they're thinking because it's written down in the book.
Yeah.
So I felt like I had so much amazing context for what I was seeing that like I was just, you know, hypnotized the whole movie. Whereas I feel like if I had no knowledge of Dune, I might have been like, was that half a movie? And it was.
Yeah, yeah.
But it certainly would have felt like more of a half a movie.
That's where I was at because I haven't read the books and I haven't seen the original or anything really. I just went into it blind, and it was good. I recognized that it was good, but I felt like I was always missing something.
Yeah.
I was
That's
like,
fair.
I don't really know who, like, there's a lot of world building, a lot of setting the stage and character building, so they did a good job, but
I feel like it's one of those
kinda
movies
missing out.
that when part 2 comes out and then you rewatch part 1, you'll
Sure,
give part
for
1
sure.
a higher
I
rating.
love it. And
Yeah.
then, like, discussing and diving into it more,
Exactly.
I think I'll like it even more.
Yeah.
Mortal
Uh,
Kombat.
Mortal Kombat was fine. Watched it on HBO.
Yeah, that's fine.
Had cool fatalities. I don't really remember anything else.
Yeah, I don't really remember anything. I wasn't, yeah, it was fine. Nobody.
Nobody with Bob Odenkirk. Man, I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. I went in expecting it to be good because I'm a big fan of Bob Odenkirk and other people in the movie and the director, but really enjoyed the entire movie. I definitely want to see it again. It's actually streaming right now on HBO.
I want to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looked good.
worth watching, 100%.
Yeah. Pig.
Pig with Nicolas Cage. I really did enjoy Pig. That's on Hulu right now.
Nice.
It's
I love me some Nick Cage.
I feel like in a lot of ways people were like, oh, it's a man who gets his pig taken. Now he has to go find his pig. It almost sounds like a John Wick situation. But it's more of a it's not an action movie. It's definitely a drama. It's a lot more emotional than that. Really good. Actually, and looking at Nick Cage and seeing so much of the hammy stuff he's done and the bad stuff he's done and the good stuff he's done,
Yeah.
I mean, he was fantastic.
Okay.
Straight up, he was fantastic in Pig.
I need to see it.
Yeah. Green Knight. You didn't see it.
No.
I saw it. A24, so you know it's gonna be a little weird. It's a movie people are gonna really, really like or really, really hate. I feel like there's not really in between. I really liked it for a lot of reasons. I mean, I could probably dive into this one, but knowing this story and almost going in, expecting it to be an A24 movie where I knew it was going to be trippy and weird, and I think because I did so, I enjoyed it the whole way through. Do I totally understand where people's grievances come from? I get it, totally, but I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah. Okay. Encanto.
Haven't seen it
Haven't
yet,
seen it.
which is a bummer. I mean,
It's-
I need to see it. I love
so
Disney
good.
animation.
Like, it was so good. I thought, like, okay, it's gonna be pretty good. It'll be good. It was. I loved it. It's simplistic to say it's just a Colombian version of Coco,
Hmm.
but it's similar. But they leaned heavy into the Spanish, into the culture, the Colombian culture for sure. I loved it. I loved it so much. So
Dang.
the songs were
All
great.
right.
So
I'm watching it this week, hands
yeah,
down.
it's good.
The King's Man.
Haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it. I really liked it. I think a lot of my enjoyment came from just the actors who were in it. Because the story was fine, you know. There's a lot of world building in the sense that you're kind of seeing how that organization came together, and I've seen the other movies, so I know where it ends up. So as a prequel, as a standalone, it would be fine. But because I knew everything and I enjoyed everyone in it, I think it made me enjoy the movie more.
I think you like the Kingsman franchise more than I do.
I love it.
Especially, yeah. Well, we might have to do our own thing about that
we're going to have
franchise
to.
because
Plus, you need to rewatch it anyway because I think when you first
I've
saw it,
only seen-
you didn't know it was like a comic book thing.
No,
Like you went
no.
in
So I
expecting it to
was
be a
like-
spy movie.
yeah, and it was like really wacky.
And
stuff, and I'm
it's
like,
straight up a graphic novel.
Yeah.
You know.
So I think I would like it more.
Oh yeah.
I did love Samuel L. Jackson in the first
Oh yeah.
one.
So good.
Okay.
Free Guy. I have not seen it yet.
That was good. It was like a surprise hit, even like financially,
Mhm.
box office wise, it did really well. I love Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
Same.
It was good.
It's just one of those things. One of those movies I just haven't seen yet, and I.
You're gonna like it a lot. If you like movies, if you like nerdy stuff, there's like some surprise stuff that you're like,
cool.
oh man.
Alright.
So it was good. No,
I'll
it
do
was
that this
super
week as well.
enjoyable and good. It was
Yeah.
way good.
That's awesome. Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Didn't see it.
Didn't see it. As growing up with the Ghostbusters movies, and not enjoying the most recent reboot, this one I thought was great. It actually acts as a direct sequel to the original Ghostbusters, versus it being a reboot or a remake or something. It's just it's an exact sequel within that timeline or within that story. I really liked it. I think if you enjoyed the first Ghostbusters movies, does it lean a lot into nostalgia? Sure. Is it good on its own? Definitely.
That was like, and it reminds me, and I did want to mention this a little bit. Halloween and Halloween Kills came out just a few months ago, and that's a direct sequel to the first one. They just ignore all the crappy dozen other ones. So if you look at just the original and then the newest Halloween, it's good, and the newer one, it was okay. I think finishing the trilogy is gonna be. I think it's gonna be super good.
Yeah. I actually have not seen
Any of them?
any of the new trilogy. But
okay.
once I heard that the sequel was coming out and that it was a trilogy, I was gonna watch the first one, go see the second one, Halloween Kills. But just because I missed the release window, I think I'm just gonna wait until the third one's about to come out
And then watch all
and
of
then
them.
binge it 1,
We can
2,
talk
and then
about
go
that.
see 3.
Have you seen the original?
I've seen the original
That one's
Halloween.
good.
Yeah.
Super good.
Yeah.
King Richard.
Have not seen King Richard yet.
I love Will Smith. Most people I feel like really love him dramatically, but some people are kind of hit and miss with some of his stuff, some of his dramatic stuff, but I love him. And with this, it was good. It wasn't like you're gonna cry your eyes out or blow your socks off or anything like that, but it was good. It was super good. About Venus and Serena. I love John Bernthal. He's in it. And
awesome.
so yeah, it was good. It's super good.
Cool.
It's cool. I love recent biopics.
Mm-hmm.
Red Notice.
Red Notice.
Haven't seen it.
It was a Netflix movie with Ryan Reynolds and The Rock basically playing themselves.
It's a version.
I mean,
and Gal Gadot.
I mean, it was fine. It was fine. You know, it's a movie that you could turn on when you can't find anything else to watch,
Okay.
or you're just hanging out. That's not to say I think it's a bad movie or I think people shouldn't watch it. It's a fine movie. If you want just a action flick with, you know, spies and smart mastermind criminals and Ryan Reynolds and The Rock, watch the movie.
I feel like we never have that situation when somebody says like, "Oh, if you don't have anything else to watch," I'm like, "I have so much to watch."
That's
we
true.
have so much
which is
in
why,
the past.
Which is why I
and
had
now.
to say, or because I
Or-
just realized that is always something I can turn on.
But yeah, we always have something that we're like, we have to watch this.
Either
we
I
have to
haven't
watch
seen
this."
it yet, or I'm catching up on it.
Yeah.
Or I've discovered the show for the first time and I'm binging it all the way through.
Yeah.
There's always something.
Okay, shows. Dave season 2.
Dave season 2, really enjoyed it. The entire time I was just like, hey, so is he gonna release like an album with this music for real? Because some of those songs I really want to hear.
Yeah.
the actual music that he was, you know,
So
making
good.
within the show. Really enjoyed it, and I'm hyped for season 3.
I love Dave. Like it's weird. He's weird, but it works. You know, and it hits the comedy with the like passion, the art, because. I mean, some of it was that one episode with Benny Blanco was weird. It was a little bit like
So
too
good.
weird. I'm like, this one, but the other ones where he was like tripping and he was all like bald, like completely
Oh, yeah.
shaved and everything. That
Yeah.
was hilarious. But it was good. Yeah, it was
totally.
super good.
Yeah, we're very excited for season 3.
Yeah, me too.
What We Do in the Shadows season 3.
So good.
I
It was
I
so
think What We
good.
Do in the Shadows is one of
It's just
the greatest comedies on television right
Yeah.
now, or over the last few years. Honestly,
No.
it is so good. We could talk about What We Do in the Shadows in its own video.
I didn't think that they could match and top the movie, but I
And
feel
people
like,
are going to disagree with that.
Yeah, that's
But,
true.
but
too.
I agree with you.
No,
I
yeah.
think the show
Uh,
holds up so well on its own and taller than the movie. And I love the
and
movie.
I love the movie so
but
much.
this show is...
It's not like it's just combined, and that also was something that surprised me, that they were able to connect it, and it feels just like they're
Feels
just in
natural.
another part.
Yeah.
They're in New York versus New Zealand.
Yeah.
And it feels the same.
Yeah.
But as far as, I didn't think I was going to love the characters so much. I was like, no, I love all the originals, you know, from the movie, but these characters are so good.
So good.
I love all of them. It was
And
so
again,
good.
with that one, hyped for season 4. So
Yeah.
I'm really...
It's gonna
That's
be
one of my,
crazy.
it's one of
That
my top
one's-
picks for 2022.
Colin as a baby.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Oh, that's gonna be
It's going
crazy.
to be awesome.
Okay, Witcher season 2.
Witcher season
Oof.
2. Yeah, I feel like
I feel like you'll have more to say. Like I liked it, but I don't know the games and stuff as much. I think I liked season 1 more. It felt more epic.
Mhm.
But season 2, it was good because I loved the world, and I liked the prequel anime movie and all that stuff, and I delved really deeply into it. But it,
Yeah,
I didn't get
think
the context, so
yeah,
I think you liked it more.
My score comes from me, obviously a huge fan of the games, fan of the books, knowing the story, knowing where they're taking the show, and what they're setting up, because there's a lot.
Yeah.
I think that changed my actual enjoyment of this thing. But I can totally see how people, might feel that way about season 1, and season 2 is obviously a linear story
Yeah.
versus season 1 being multiple stories. But either way, where they're going is
I'm excited.
gonna be
I mean,
wild.
I still love it.
It's
I
gonna
love
be
it
wild.
so much. I
Yeah.
love all of them. I wanted more Jaskier, obviously.
Yeah.
But-
who doesn't?
Who doesn't? But everybody else was super good still.
Yeah.
I feel like a little bit more with Yennefer. She had like, yeah.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. And Siri training and stuff was good. It was super good. And I feel like I know where they're gonna go a little bit with like the monoliths and some of that stuff. But Geralt was good. Everybody was good.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
was-
Henry Cavill,
Who doesn't want more?
Shirtless, sweaty after battle.
I mean, no.
Who doesn't want
just the whole show?
Who doesn't want it?
Do you remember Mark Hamill? He did a movie like maybe a few years ago. I didn't even see it, but he was like a knight. He was like an old school knight, and I was expecting that a little bit more from Vesemir.
Oh,
Somebody a little more like gruff and like. Also because I saw the prequel, the anime prequel twice before I watched season 2, so I'm like, oh, okay, he's gonna be crazy, or he's gonna be like, because that was him when he was young, and he was like all cool and crazy, but then I thought he's gonna be like this old hermit, or at least like wise, or something, and I feel like he wasn't really any of that. He was just kind of like flat for me, for Vesemir.
Yeah. No, I can agree with that.
Yeah. So I wanted a little bit more from him.
But I think the actor who portrayed him did a fantastic job.
Really?
And I'm hoping there's more to expanding his, even if it's prequel stuff. I mean, him as a character, that prequel anime was fantastic. So
it was super good.
You know, anything more with Vesemir too.
And Witcher Blood Origin. I'm excited for that. That's gonna be good.
Yeah. All right, you season 3.
I really loved it. Yeah, I really loved it. I remember when season 2 started with Love, I was just missing Beck, but both of them were really crazy in season 3. She just kept killing people, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was good. It kept me on the edge of my seat. Yeah, spoilers. Yeah, I really liked it. I loved it.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think with season 1 and 2 I enjoyed it more, because with season 3 it was like, do I enjoy that they were kind of pitted against each other in a way, and obviously we saw how it ends in in a bit of a showdown between our two main characters. Which I liked, but I think season 1 and 2 maybe it just captured me a little bit more, because it was season 2 was a retread of season 1 with finding a girl, but a different take. And I understand why they wouldn't want to just repeat the same thing exactly in season 3. That being said, both of them were fantastic. I mean, you can't really go wrong with, hearing the Joe dialogue while he's staring into the voiceover into the distance, at a woman. It works well, and as bad as he is, it's like you kind of want him to get away with everything.
What do you think about for season 4? Do you think he will be in France the whole time, in Europe, or if
I don't know.
Just
I feel like they gotta
come back.
I mean, they're changing up the formula, and I think it ended at a big enough place where they could do either one. I mean, it could be the setup could be paid off in the first 2 episodes, and then we get a complete change. Or he could be doing his up to no good and over there.
Learn a new language.
Yep, exactly.
I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm wanting it. Whatever they do, I want it.
100%.
Alright, Squid Game.
Squid Game. First of all, I'm a big fan of Korean media. Movies, television, some music, I love Squid Game. And funny enough, I heard from my sister told me to watch it, and it was like the day after it premiered, so like I hadn't heard a thing about it. She was just like, hey, have you seen Squid Game? I'm like, no, but I've seen it pop up because it was the that week's new release. She's like, you gotta watch it, you would like it. I liked it. I binged it all in a day, so I certainly liked it. I thought it was fantastic.
It was one of those I came late into the game with that. Honestly, maybe it was like a month or 2 after, maybe a month and a half. And it was one of those rare ones where it did live up to the hype for me. For me, it was a rare thing where it's like, it was so hyped up, so popular, so big, and I was like, oh, okay, like I get it, why people love it. And I loved it, and I did too, and I was super drawn in. Yeah, I really loved it. Especially Korean, especially more foreign stuff. I loved it.
No, can't go wrong with that super good. Stuff.
It was super good. We'll have to dive more into that probably before season 2, because there's a lot of loose ends that and a lot of theories.
A lot of theories too. I have my own theories that I haven't really heard other places.
And that's what's cool, because there's no games, there's no like comic books it's based off of. They're just making it. They're just writing it, so we don't know. So
another thing to look forward to.
Yeah. Sunny. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yep.
Season 15.
Season
I haven't seen it yet.
15.
I'm going to. I'm going to binge it.
I think it continued into 2022, early 2022.
Okay.
But for a few weeks they were releasing 2 episodes a night, so it actually ended fast.
Really?
And I think it was a shorter season too, so it was
I wonder
like
why.
within a month it was all out. But I really enjoyed it. They
good.
did do a big change to the formula by having the gang go to Ireland for many of the episodes.
Really?
So it was complete
Spoiler.
change.
No, you're
but it worked perfectly. I mean, the gang's the gang. They're all horrible people,
Yeah.
and you get to see them be horrible in
Yeah.
other places. And I mean, everyone's on top of their game. I loved it.
How is
I'm
it-
excited for more.
How is it not canceled after 15 seasons?
Dude, I think they FX have given them another 4, so they'll at least go to.
Wow.
I think they're going to at least on contract 20. I think. I have to look it up,
And
but
not dropping in quality.
no, they're still
Maybe
going.
some people disagree with that.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
no.
I guarantee you there are seasons that people just think were not as good. There's people I know who think seasons 1 through 5 are prime Sunny. There's people who think it's 5 through 10. I like all of them.
I feel like
I think-
it's not like The Simpsons where it's like there's only the first like 10 are good and then everybody agrees that it just gets terrible.
Yeah.
Or something like
Yeah.
that. It's like
I think a lot of people have a lot of opinions, and it keeps the show going. People talk about it.
That's true.
I think
That's
it's
true.
all good. All right, Curb Your Enthusiasm season 11.
So
Fantastic.
good.
I mean,
So
I
good.
love every season of Curb.
Yeah. It just that one I think keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Well,
The
especially
earlier ones are good and I
Yeah.
like going back and watching them because I love Larry David.
Mhm.
But it just gets better.
Yeah,
and better.
I think for me it was like I really love 1 through 4, 1 through 5, and then as soon as it was like 5, 6, like that's when I started to think it just kept improving.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
And it's just like exponentially seasons have just been getting better and better for different reasons. But that
And-
season 11 was fantastic.
and he adapts.
Yeah.
And it's fresh, it's modern, and
Yeah.
he still is in these situations,
Yeah.
gets himself into trouble. Yeah,
And you know what I
it's
really
so good.
liked about 11 was the inclusion of COVID, like, was so brief. Because people are talking about doing shows about the pandemic. It's like, bro, I'm tired of hearing about it. Like,
Yeah.
I understand that it happened.
And that people are
I don't
trying
want
to help.
I don't want to watch full TV shows about people
Yeah. Yeah.
living in the pandemic. Like, that's why I loved where he was just like, maybe they brought up the mask once or twice.
The first one was about the hoarder
Yeah, the hoarder, like,
Yeah.
that was actually funny,
funny.
and it wasn't about, like,
people
people just being annoying about
dying
the whole thing
or
and
being
dying
sick,
and
or if
sick.
it's-
And,
or being annoying and it's so much.
yeah, so
It wasn't
really,
it
really
wasn't
liked
too
it.
much either way. It was just like
Yeah, and I've always thought Curb has done a good job around what people make political issues. So
Yeah.
it was good. Season 11 was
just
great.
doesn't care. Yeah.
All right, well, Attack on Titan season 4 part 1.
I haven't seen any of it, and
Oh,
I'm going
man.
to, and he gets
So
on me for it.
so
go for
I
it.
think this season 4, the series as a whole, I mean I could I could go on and on, but I mean,
We will. I'll watch
oh
it.
my
And then
gosh,
you can,
like there's just too much to say about it. Season 4 part 1, fantastic. I think some of the episodes of Attack on Titan are some of the best storytelling that I've ever seen, which is a huge claim.
even more, just not even just in anime.
no,
Everything.
ever.
Oh.
Like I think the show as a whole, as a story, as a medium, might be in my top 5,
Oof.
which is huge
Oof.
because if people who know me,
Yeah.
I'm picky,
Critical.
I'm critical. Even though I love all these things, I do have my favorites, and it has become one of them.
We'll see if
There's
it
lots
lives
to-
up.
which is
we'll
a
see
lot
if
to
it-
say.
We'll see if it lives
Yeah.
up to the hype for
Yeah.
me. Usually, like I said, usually when something gets so hyped up, I'm a little bit more critical. But
You can be
Yeah.
critical.
yeah.
Yeah.
Part 2. Do you know when
So
it's gonna come?
part 2 is right now.
It's
So part,
going on
part
right
2
now.
is airing right now.
Okay.
Yeah, which is the final season. So
Really?
once it's over, the
Okay,
story's
then I'll
done.
binge all of it.
So
Okay.
yeah. All right, now we're to the Marvel releases of the year, starting with WandaVision.
Man, I loved it. I know it was. We started that together. The first couple, I think.
Yeah.
Some people didn't love it so much, and I know especially non-American audiences didn't really get it, the first ones.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, exactly, because it's all of these things that we either know of or grew up with, especially towards like episode like 5 and 6, where it's like the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, or the Malcolm in the Middle.
Exactly,
spoof.
yeah. So, but for other people, they'd just be like, well, that's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
Or why is it black and white? And what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but then that's why I kept telling people, just watch till episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll kind of bring you up to speed.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
I thought it was super gutsy to do that, but
Mhm.
I thought it paid off. I loved it,
Yeah.
to be honest. Like,
I thought it was
super
great.
good.
I loved the first few episodes, them going into the different eras was fantastic. I loved where it ended with, spoilers, with Wanda and the Darkhold and the last we see of her and the whole setup for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which is coming out this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And the Darkhold,
Yeah.
like
That on its own.
So I kept thinking, we were talking about this, I kept thinking that they were going to get away from this fringe stuff. Okay, just kind of forget about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., forget about the Incredible Hulk, forget about these other things, but no, they're just leaning way more heavy into it. X-Men, like all these things. So,
Yeah.
so for them to pull the Darkhold from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and to pull Evan Peters as
Mhm.
Quicksilver, even
Yeah.
though they just kind of threw it away as it's just like a joke, I hope
Oh,
that,
man.
do you think
it's
they're
got to
gonna
come up again.
Yeah, I
It's
feel
gotta
like they're
come
going to
again.
change it later. Or
Yeah.
definitely in House of Harkness with
Mhm.
Agatha.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll change that and
Yeah.
they'll be like, no, this is the same one, the same
Mhm.
Quicksilver
Yeah.
from that.
Well, now
universe.
that we've got the multiverse
Now that we
opened
got
up,
multiverse.
we're gonna see a lot more from that
Yeah.
scene for sure. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, no, I loved it. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Mhm.
It wasn't like super action packed,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a longer form. It's not just a 2-hour movie. It's a
Yeah.
longer form thing. So there's gonna be more dialogue,
Mhm.
kind of like Daredevil. Where
Yeah.
those Netflix shows, they could have 5-10 minute conversations, and it could be a little bit more serious and drawn out. So some people were kind of bored sometimes, but no, I loved it. And
Yeah.
when it hit the notes, especially the last, I think like 1 or 2 episodes, that was like super good.
Mhm.
When Falcon came in with the new suit and everything, and he's like spinning and with the shield
Yeah.
and everything, I thought it was super good.
Yeah, I really liked it. I liked it more than I thought I was going to.
Mm.
Because, yeah, do I like Falcon? Yeah. Do I like Winter Soldier? Yeah.
Yeah.
So starting it, I think I went in with low expectations.
Mm.
And after the first few episodes, I was like, oh, it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
It's also hard because that one's a little bit more grounded.
Yeah.
Because the other ones, WandaVision is crazy,
Mhm.
Loki is crazy, some of these other ones, they're just, now with magic stuff, space stuff, it's just
Mhm.
so big. So it's kind of hard to go back to like just a spy show.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, also kind of why Black Widow, it kind of suffered a little bit too. Because we'll talk about that more, but we have these huge things, so it's kind of hard to just go back to just a spy movie. Or just a spy show. So just that, I loved it. Yeah, no, I'll take any more of that for sure.
Mhm. Loki. I feel
So
like
good.
there's too much I want to say about Loki
know,
for something
yeah.
short. Especially with the way it ended, characters that were introduced.
Did you think
before
before we watched it that it was going to go the way that it did? I had no idea.
I had no
that it was gonna
idea.
go
Not until
anywhere.
the
No, I mean,
first mention of.
just from him taking the cube.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
not,
I was
no,
like,
not
I had
at
no
all.
idea
Yeah,
where
no.
they were going to go with that.
Even
loved
a
Owen
few,
Wilson.
even a few episodes in, I was like, I don't know how this is gonna end.
Yeah.
And then it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and then we get the introduction of a very special someone there at the end
Spoilers?
that's changing
Oh,
the
I mean,
MCU.
we literally just saw like the next like Thanos.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's
Again,
gonna be crazy.
a little too much that
So
I could
much,
discuss about
yeah.
Loki. You'll have to do that in a different.
Loki
video.
season 2, I think, is coming out this year, or if not next year.
Mhm.
So yeah, we'll talk way more about season
Oh,
1.
yeah,
But no,
definitely.
we both loved it.
And same thing with What If?
What If.
we're gonna get a season 2 of that. But What If I was
And a
pleasantly
zombies spin-off.
yeah, Marvel Zombies. Pleasantly surprised with What If. It's one of those ones I thought I would really enjoy because of the whole idea of it is taking these stories and saying, well, what if this happened? Did I think some episodes were better than others? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Did I like it as a whole? Absolutely. Did I love how you sort of thought it wasn't connected in the first few
Yeah,
episodes, and then it
yeah.
really came together.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
loved What If.
I was like blown away by What If. I knew that I would love it, that I would like it, but even the first episode, I was just like, whoa, this is like super, super, super good.
Yeah.
And then just the connection, the stories. Yeah, like I said, some of them were not as good. The Killmonger one was not as, but I still liked it. I feel like if they would have started with that, it would have built up a little bit more. But I still want to see that missing Gamora episode with her as
yeah.
Thanos. You know. So, but especially at the end with the Watcher and the Ultron Vision, like them just going crazy.
Well, and
it was
especially
super good.
because,
It was
you know,
crazy.
we're getting, you know, little hints that some of these what if things could be, you know, passing by into the,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
the live action MCU. So
I hope.
there's a lot that could come from some of this what if
I
stuff.
loved it. Guardians of the Multiverse.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Too good.
Okay, Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
Just finished.
To be honest, didn't.
Oh.
When it was gonna come out, I didn't really care. I'm like, Hawkeye,
Yeah.
whatever. I enjoyed it though. More than I thought I would. Obviously, you know, we get our big boy there at the end.
That was just a little.
So little hint of the bleeding over from Daredevil, and which I thought was fantastic.
Again, crazy.
So good. Yeah, really enjoyed Hawkeye.
I loved
mean,
it.
I could probably talk more about that too, but yeah, as a whole, I enjoyed Hawkeye and what it set up for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't super stoked for Hawkeye, you know, but I was gonna watch it, and the first two were pretty slow, to be honest, and then 3 with the car chase, that it started to pick up, and we got a little bit more of like Echo and stuff like that. It started to pick up, and then obviously Kingpin, and then Yelena just a little bit before that. Super good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad she didn't kill Clint. Oh, Kate Bishop. Like, some people thought she was annoying. No, I liked her. I loved her. It was actually, I really, really loved her. I thought it was perfect. Like, of course, they made her super, super, like, skilled and all this stuff, but it didn't feel, you know, out of nowhere for me. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
And she was funny and quirky and cute, and I loved their relationship, them going off of each other. I thought it was a good duo for sure. For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Marvel movies, which surprisingly there were a lot in 2021.
Yeah.
Starting off
Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah,
Go
which
for it.
it was fine. I mean, could I dive into this? Sure, but it was fine.
We could talk so much more.
Yeah.
I just wish it was good. It was super good on its own. But coming right after like Endgame and some of these
That
other
was
huge
tough,
things,
yeah.
like I said, yeah. So also it would have been so much better had they given it to us 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and it would have been then the payoff with her sacrificing herself
Yeah.
in Endgame would have been so much better. You know,
Exactly.
so yeah, I like it.
Shang-Chi. Again, one of those movies I thought, oh, new hero, looks interesting. Trailers didn't really sell it for me. I mean, I'm gonna go see a new movie the first night it comes out anyway. And by the time I walked out, loved it. I was almost shocked at how much I enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
did not expect
Right.
at all. Same with my family who I went with. We went in not really knowing who the guy was, and all of us loved that movie. I mean, it's certainly in my top for standalone or like single hero origin movies.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
It was.
yeah.
I thought it was really, really good.
I was blown away. Like, I knew that I would like it, but no, I thought they I thought they would whitewash it a lot. You didn't hear any English for the first like 10 minutes, and there was a lot. They just went super heavy into Chinese culture and Chinese American culture too, in San Francisco and like all that. And then they had the blend of like the Jackie Chan, like the bus sequence, the Jackie Chan type style fighting, and then also Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type stuff, and then just a lot of the things like the water map, the genealogy, the timeline with the wood, and again the Chinese like mythology, super weird.
And he would know a
But
little
it was
more
good.
because he lived in China.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously they don't have dragons going around, but and
Well,
like
not
all
that,
those
not that
weird-
we've seen.
not that we know
Yeah.
of, yeah. But No, the creatures and stuff.
Mhm.
And then Trevor Slattery was
Oh my
hilarious.
gosh.
So good.
So good.
Yeah. No, I'm super excited to see him.
Mhm.
And then Abomination too.
Oh yeah.
And Wong.
Him and Wong.
Like,
That was great.
yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm excited to see him with the rest of the Avengers
Mhm.
with the rings. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
And really quick, his friend Kate. Again, I thought this could go either way. She could be like a little bit, too much, too annoying or something. No, I
Mhm.
thought she was perfect. She was hilarious, and she like took the shot at the end, and she was like
Mhm.
not just comedic relief at all.
Mhm.
She was hilarious, but it was like purposeful.
Yeah.
I loved her.
I liked her about halfway through the movie. For the first
Yeah,
half of the
yeah,
movie,
yeah.
I was like, all right, this is gonna be too much if she keeps on being the same person.
No, I loved
But then she actually had a purpose versus again
right.
being the comedic relief, which not even everything was that funny in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I think it worked well where she ended up for sure.
No, I really liked her. The sister, too. Didn't even know that she was gonna be in there.
Oh, yeah.
But she was like a huge
Yeah,
part.
I really liked her.
And then at the end,
she's great.
she's got her dad's organization.
Mhm.
What is she gonna do with that? That's gonna
Yeah.
be crazy. So
Eternals. Went in
Oh,
wondering how it was
boy.
gonna go
oh
because
boy,
all of a sudden I'm just hearing all these,
terrible
critic reviews that it's the worst MCU and
Yeah.
all this. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's because I went in thinking it was going to be bad or what. And I saw a few complaints from people who were like, "Oh, well, it just doesn't feel just." That's why I liked it. It didn't feel like a Marvel movie, to be honest.
No,
like,
not at all.
That's a lot of why I think I enjoyed it because I go, "Oh, they're starting to differentiate themselves from the Marvel formula, which clearly works. Look at the money."
Yeah.
But I thought the movie was good. Yeah. Do I feel like it's tough juggling 10 new heroes and trying to introduce them all in their whole history? Absolutely. I understand the
Yeah.
criticism and the
Yeah.
kind of where a lot of that comes from. But by the end, where we know who's still there, we know a little bit of where it's going, the things that it teased, I really liked it.
Yeah. It had it bit off a lot.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't think it failed like everybody says.
I certainly don't think it was the worst MCU.
No.
I wouldn't even put it in the bottom 10, to be honest.
Really?
I don't think so. I mean, how many are there? Like, is there like
We're
30?
up to
a little
like 25.
25
for
now?
movies.
for all of them, including
Yeah.
all the new ones?
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought
I
it was
think
more.
I think it was like 22.
Well, it wouldn't be in my top. It wouldn't be my bottom.
Maybe it's
8.
almost to 30,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was. There was a huge ensemble, and that was
Yeah.
even shaved down. I heard that.
Yeah.
I think it was 15 or 12, so they went down to 10.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what they were going for. If they're wanting a new like Guardians of the Galaxy or a new group, a
Mhm.
new Avengers or something like that. So I think they might not have hit that note. Well, I mean, they did. They did. It just might not have been what people wanted. But I
Mhm.
still liked it, and I loved a lot of the characters, and I love obviously the deaf actress from Walking Dead. I think
Mhm.
I forgot her name. She was good as a speedster.
Yeah.
She was super good. Some of the other ones was kind of like hit and miss or whatever. Icarus just being Superman, but it was good. It was
Yeah.
cool. So there wasn't a lot of connection also to the rest of the MCU at all.
Yeah.
Like barely any. So
Yeah.
it was good though. Blade.
And we got the post credit scene with
Blade-
the Blade
yeah,
tease,
Blade
so
at the
that
end,
made
yeah.
worth it.
Maybe for those of you who don't know, that was Blade. That was Mahershala Ali speaking at the end to Kit Harington.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
It was fine for me. I'll probably like it more the more I see it too. It was good.
That's fair.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man should be its own video.
Yeah. It probably will be actually. There's
Yeah.
so much to unpack.
But
And we got
you know,
Kingpin and Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
Netflix Kingpin and Matt Murdock at the same, like right at the same time.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Loved it.
I mean,
Probably too much to say for keeping it short, but thought it was fantastic. I mean, obviously seeing Tobey
Tobey
Maguire and Andrew
Andrew.
Garfield was just like next level. Like definitely some of the most, you could feel the excitement in the theater. And I think I saw it twice in theaters, and both times it was just, people screaming, and you could just, it was a great theater experience.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
as
for
as
sure.
a story,
It's-
as Tom Holland Spider-Man, it was fantastic.
It's still gonna hold up. They hit so well on
Mhm.
so many points,
Yeah.
with so many characters.
Yeah.
So heroes and villains.
Yeah.
I knew Alfred Molina would be as Doc Ock would be good, and he was, but Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin,
Yeah.
he killed
MVP,
it again.
always, yeah.
And if you look back at some of I just watched like all of them again. Some of those ones, it's a little campy, a little cheesy,
Mhm.
but it's I still love them. But
Yeah.
they blended that, and it was
And it worked perfectly.
Super good, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so we could talk about that and its connection to the next one,
Mhm.
Venom.
Yeah, Venom. My favorite part of Venom 2 was seeing him at the end show up in the MCU briefly.
Yeah, I was
Um,
really surprised. I'm like,
I think Venom. One. I love Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock.
yeah,
I love him as Venom. I think he needs to be in the MCU and have Spider-Man there, because that is such a big part of why Venom is the way he is and some of the things he does. And there's so much more they could do with his story versus like, oh hey, it's our second Venom movie, let's give him Carnage, which is just this massive fan favorite, and then like
too quick.
and then
maybe.
that's it. So
And we love Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Love Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
And he was good, but
Yeah.
it was.
it felt short. It felt rushed. It felt like
It did feel super short.
It
super
felt
rushed.
like an early 2000s superhero
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, like early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted to like it so much more, and I hesitate to even say I didn't like it because it's Andy Serkis, who was the director, and I love him. But I feel like, I'm like, ugh, it wasn't that
I'm
good.
hoping, they already said they're going to do a third one, so I'm hoping with the third that, it's, a new story, some better writing, and maybe opens up, that world a little bit, because, it's a Venom. There's a lot to Venom.
I like him, but as a standalone movie, it's hard with a
Yeah.
standalone character.
Yeah.
Do you feel like
Especially being separate from Spider-Man as a whole.
Yeah, well, yeah. Do you feel like he's like the Hulk, where even though I love the Incredible Hulk 2008 version, a lot of people have said that he's kind of hard to do just as the headliner of his own movie, and he really just works with the Avengers or with Thor. Do you feel like Venom's kind of like that? He would be better just with a group?
Maybe not even a group, but even one other somebody. Spider-Man. Like freaking anybody.
Yeah.
Like someone else, because it's, you have Eddie and you have Venom, and their dynamic is great. But are they just going to keep fighting somebody else? Like, I think there's a lot more they could do.
Yeah. DC.
DC releases, not a lot.
Just a few.
There was just Justice League and Suicide Squad. Is that it?
I
think that
so.
might have been it, yeah. A lot of talk for other things coming in the next few years from DC.
We'll talk about that more.
But as for movies, we had Zack Snyder's Justice League, which was released on HBO. The full cut, 4 or 5 hours long?
4 hours.
4 hours long. And I had watched the original Justice League maybe a day or two before watching Zack Snyder's Justice League. And it is so much better. I forgot how much I disliked Justice League.
Poor Joss Whedon.
Because when I saw Justice League in theaters, everyone who I was with, we left, we're like, was that not good? Yeah.
Was that not good?
We're like, is that not good? It had all those people, and somehow it just wasn't a good movie. I really enjoyed Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's a shame that it's set up so much and we're not going to get payoff. Because I think that payoff on a rewatch, the entire saga of what would have been Zack Snyder's Justice League Parts 1, 1, 2, and 3, would have been this pretty great epic. But now we have a Part 1 that set up a massive story with no payoff. So it's a shame.
Never say never.
So yeah, that's true. I don't want to say never like that. I obviously.
I know we never
I
thought
hope
we would have
there's
gotten
more,
Zack Snyder
but,
Justice League,
yeah.
like the Snyder cut,
Yeah.
for years and years. Who would have thought that would have paid off?
Yeah. Yeah, liked it a lot more.
Yeah, I liked it more. It's longer. If you like it, then you'll love it that much more.
Mhm.
Do you feel like hating Justice League 2017 makes you like Zack Snyder Justice League that much more?
I don't think so. I remember just being so disappointed in that first Justice League that like when I did a rewatch, I was like, wow, this really is just not good. But the Snyder Cut felt different enough. It was.
Yeah.
I mean, they said like, oh, it's just a few scenes, but like, I mean, it felt like a very.
No, it's completely.
It felt so different.
So different.
I mean, and I'm glad it was like they made it so brutal too. Like when Wonder Woman, that first scene with her just like out, you know, straight up murdering all those dudes to save those people. It was like, oh, this is like someone with this insane strength who's you know lived a lot longer, and they're just absolutely decimating the bad guys.
Even
I liked a lot of that.
Even the parts that I liked from 2017 Justice League, they were still in there.
Yeah.
So like when Superman comes back.
Yeah.
And they have to like stop him.
Yeah.
And then obviously the best part, like when he looks and sees.
I love that
Flash.
part. When I first that was one of my favorite parts of the first one.
Of the first one of 2017. Yeah. So that still being in there, it's still. It feels like the 2017 version was like a very watered down kind of like maybe like a fan made version of the Zack Snyder cut. So yeah, I need to watch it again to be honest. The I Only Saw It Once, the Snyder cut. So I need to get a little bit more into that, but it was good.
Especially if you know like I did just one sitting, all the way through.
Yeah.
So good.
Okay.
Suicide Squad. Liked it. Liked a lot better than the other, the first Suicide Squad. But it's not like a sequel. It's you know just another movie.
It has the same.
Has the same characters, and they acknowledge the stuff that happened. So it's not like a part 2 or anything. Like it is just a separate Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you know, like the actors in it. You know, so yeah, sure. I think there's a few things I'd have to rewatch that maybe kind of fell flat for me, but I still enjoyed it as a a DC movie, which I feel like DC is so hit or miss.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it, and actually, Peacemaker, who's introduced in the Suicide Squad, I'm watching Peacemaker right now, in 2022. I actually think Peacemaker the show is better than the Suicide Squad movie, so we'll have to discuss that once Peacemaker ends.
I haven't started it, so I'll catch up. Margot Robbie still as Harley Quinn, I still think was like the best part. She's super good.
Oh yeah.
I felt like she was kind of underused. She wasn't in it a ton. But yeah, no, I'm glad that they picked that part and put her in.
Yeah.
And then Idris Elba was great.
Yeah.
John Cena, it was John Cena.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good. Some of it was pretty wacky.
Yeah.
Pretty, it was very James Gunn.
Yeah.
A little tiny bit maybe too much for me, or maybe for the average person would be like, what is this? Mm-hmm. But no, it was good. I think I'll like it more too the more that I watch it. Yeah. But yeah, James Gunn. Yeah. Good. Alright, so that was our 2021 recap. Like I said, it wasn't everything. If we missed anything, or if you definitely have your own comments, your own opinions, let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, subscribe to us and hear us talk more about all things movies, television, video games, pop culture, anything that us nerds are enthusiastic about.
Yeah. Stay tuned. See you next time.